Good evening, everybody. Today is Sunday, March 29th. My name is Isaiah Jolly. I am your host of the show, The Night Owl. And collectively, we are the Night Owl Clan. So we have some important things that we want to talk about tonight. I have a few different subjects that we're going to talk about that are pretty important that's going on in the world. The first one that I want to talk about is the No Kings stuff that happened over the weekend. And then I'm going to get into a little bit more harsh stuff deeper into the video. So we're going to start off with the No Kings. I don't know if you're aware, but there was a major protest that took place worldwide and statewide, all throughout many states in the U.S. and different places in the world, protesting for No Kings, a fight, a last cry against tyranny, against kings, against dictators. Give me a break. It's sad that these people go out and protest on a Saturday, a beautiful Saturday, and waste their time protesting, and literally wasted their time. Some of these people were dressed up in monkey suits and costumes. Clowns is what I would call them, clowns. Any grown man that went to that protest is a laughing stock as a man. I would not consider him a man. I would consider him gay for sure. But, you know, maybe a man, but definitely gay. There were some appearances from different people at this show. We had some appearances from Bernie Sanders, Ilhan Omar, or Elon Omar, I think is how it's pronounced, Elon Omar. She showed up and over in Minneapolis did a speech. Bernie Sanders did a speech where he insulted Trump, insulted what he was doing, and riled people up. He made a comment that likened 1776 and how the Americans fought against the English for freedom, and likened it to what we should do in America today against Trump. I thought it was disgraceful. I thought that the way that he approached the people in Minnesota, he was in Minnesota, I thought it was disgusting. What he talked about, the things that he did, I think he incited violence. If you look at other protests that happened for the No Kings this Saturday, and they also resorted in violence. This one didn't in Minnesota, but I think Bernie Sanders was leading the way for these things. Even worse, you had a guy, Bruce Springsteen, he went and performed. Now, this is a guy who makes music, very decent music, I might add. And his biggest song is called Born in the USA. Talking and bragging about how you're born in the USA and how it's a great thing to be born in the USA. I think it's a great thing too. So does Trump. But the funny thing is we want to make sure that the people here were born in the USA or were brought in the right way. And that goes against his music completely. So I thought that was kind of funny. I also, in my opinion, I think he's now aligned himself with that team, with that group. And I hate to say it, that's where he is now. Now I know where he is. Now I know not to listen to his music. I mean, honestly, he had a few good songs. It's not my style. I'm sure he's got a lot of other songs that a lot of people like, but I'm definitely not getting into it deeply now. So I just wanted to go on a little rant about No Kings and this protest that happened, because it just happened literally yesterday, and people were going crazy. I was getting texts left and right from people I know talking about, hey, did you see these protests? Or, hey, people are rising up all over the world, all over Minnesota, all over the country to protest against Trump. And I'm thinking in my head, are they? Really? Is it that serious? And then I look at the numbers, 100,000 people in Minnesota, somewhere between 1 and 8 million people worldwide. Is it really a lot of people? Really? I mean, how many people live in the U.S.? We start doing how many people live in Minnesota? They had one of these in Minnesota. They had one in New York. They had one in Vermont, a few other places. Well, look at New York. Just in New York City, it's 23 million people. So In Minnesota, you got, in Minneapolis, Twin Cities, you got 700,000 people roughly, I think. If that's the case, 50 to 100,000 people showed up. That's not a whole lot. Half the people were from out of state, from what I saw on MSNBC. I just, I don't really think that they really did anything with this one. I don't really think it really was a protest at all, actually. I think it was an organized event. In a way, I think it was a rally. I really think it was a rally for the Democrats to help them with this next election coming up so that they can build more interest. Because you had the leader of the Democrats out there, Bernie Sanders, and you had Ilhan Omar out there, which she belongs in a prison, but we're not going to go into that tonight. But you had a few other people that came out there, and I think that if that was just a rally, I don't think people would have came. But because it was a protest against Trump, people came. But you start looking at it, it really was more of a rally. It was a traditional, that's kind of what it looked like. The funny thing is it wasn't just one sign out there. They're protesting against no kings, but you had protesters out there that said things like trans rights are human rights. You had protesters out there that were holding signs that said Black Lives Matter. You had protesters out there that said immigrants belong here. Illegals are not illegal, and they belong here. Well, if you love them so much and you think they belong there, invite one into your home there, bud. They won't do that. I guarantee you they won't do that. And the funny thing is they're probably complaining about them driving just like I do, okay? But anyway, no, there was a No Kings protest, and it was eventful for some people, I guess. Here's what I was told. I was told, that there was going to be a protest. I knew there was going to be a protest. I had a friend tell me, bro, Bruce Springsteen's performing at this protest. Okay. I mean, should I go? No, I'm not going. You're asking me if I should go to this protest? Do I look like I like men? No, I'm not going to the protest. But that's how I look at every man that went to the protest. Now, at the end of the day, protest is a protest. I think that a protest is more effective if there's money involved in it. A protest like this, in my opinion, does nothing, but people do what they want to do. It's their Saturday to waste if they choose to. I'd like to get onto a more serious topic, a topic that's much more concerning. I just wanted to bring this up because some people didn't know that Bruce Springsteen was a major liberal, or that Ilhan Omar is still not in a federal prison, and that she is still hosting rallies with Bernie Sanders. Some people didn't know that, and I figured I'd let them know. So now they know. Let's get on to a more serious topic for Sunday, March 29th. One that's really been really irking me this last 2 weeks is this government shutdown that the Democrats have done. This stopping of the funding to DHS. I think it's appalling. I think it's, quite frankly, disgusting the way that they're doing. They don't realize what's happening in our country. The more that Homeland doesn't have their funding, the more dangerous these streets become. The more reckless these streets become. And we have information on this. This isn't just me saying these things. A U.S. security analyst that I was told from the news said that Hezbollah has been making their way into America through the southern border. And it's coincidentally perfect because there's no security down there, because we've defunded them and we're not giving them any more funding right now. So this Democrat shutdown is really not a good thing for anybody. Terrorists are getting in. The cartel is doing what they please, and it's a free-for-all. And so right now there needs to be something done about this. I think anybody involved in this shutdown really should just be impeached, in my opinion. I mean, and I don't know. I think it's stupid. I don't think that there should be this going on right now. There's literally people getting into the country right now. Hezbollah's getting into the country. The terrorists are getting into the country, and mark my words, we've been seeing more terrorist attacks on the rise. There was that guy that ran into that church/school. The guy that threw the nail bomb in New York. And everybody says, well, you know, we don't really know what that was. No, we know what it was. It was a bomb. It was a homemade bomb that utilizes tools, nails, and parts that explodes, and these little particles get lodged into the eye, in the skin, break your teeth, cut your arm. That's what it was. And because the guy was an idiot, he didn't know how to run one of them, and he threw it, and it didn't actually explode the way that he wanted it to explode. So fortunately, not a lot of people were hurt, but nonetheless, it was still an attempt, and it can't happen. The problem is this stuff is happening because they decided to stop funding Homeland, which they should have never done in the first place. And now drugs are pouring into the country because of these things. Terrorists are flooding into the country because of these things. It's a free-for-all. Something needs to be done about it. It needs to be done. Something needs to be done quickly about it. So that's a major thing that's going on. I just want to let you guys know about that stuff. I want to tune in with you guys tonight and give you a little bit about a couple things that are going on, and keep you fresh in the loop. A couple things that I want to let you guys know for updates. I am going to be doing some updates to the show very soon here. I'm going to be having a more structured show set up. One of the things that I want to do is bring the videos of these things on the screen. So you'll see me here at the bottom of the screen, and the rest of the screen will be showing news articles or clips or words or whatever the case may be, so that you guys can see as I'm talking. That way it helps you to understand what's going on a little bit better. Another thing that I'm going to be doing soon here is I'm working on getting some merch together. It's not going to be ready yet. It's going to take maybe about a month. They're being ordered and designed right now. So once they're ready to go, you'll be seeing some, and eventually I'll be selling it on the show, or you know, letting you guys be able to buy it. Be safe, be good, you guys. I'm happy for you, and we'll see you next Sunday. And this is the Night Owl. I'm Isaiah. Good night.